Arise, Shenron!
You who have summoned me, what is your wish?
$1 billion.
That wish is beyond my power.
A 5-bedroom house.
That wish is beyond my power.
Belle's Library from Beauty and the Beast.
That wish is beyond my power.
The next episode of Boba Fett.
That wish is beyond my power.
Well, then what the hell is within your power?
The only thing that is within my power is the next episode of A Novel Console. Saiyans, enjoy Dragon Ball! Hello, welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karen.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight, Karen?
I'm really toasty. How are you?
I'm actually kind of hot. I think it's...
You made a mistake.
Yeah, I think it's time to turn off the heater. It's Florida, and somebody has their heater and that heater that is on is ours because I was surprisingly cold.
It was turned on by you.
I know.
I did not ask for it. I spent the whole afternoon bundled up in blankets because I knew you'd get mad at me if I touched it. And then here you go. You turn it on and don't even tell me you're turning it on.
I know. You know who else didn't ask for the heater to be turned on?
Our Patreon supporters.
Our Patreon supporters. I need to come up with a better way to have you guessing what our Patreon supporters didn't ask for.
I think a lot of our Patreon supporters are in areas colder than we are, so they probably do have the heaters turned on.
Yeah, probably. They probably do.
If they don't, they're very thick-skinned and strong.
Some of our listeners really find it funny every time you get annoyed whenever I do the Our Patreon supporters thing.
Ha ha ha.
Because one of them the other day, I think it was Dave, sent a conversation that you and I would have, and it would be somebody knocks on the door, and I would answer. And then I would walk away, and you would ask me, "Oh, who was that?" And I would say, "Our Patreon supporters," and you would throw a book at me.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about.
And I'd be mad at you for making Luna mad with a knock on the door.
Just for a bit.
Just for a bit.
Just for a bit. But, our Patreon supporters, they are getting a special treat this Thursday. It was supposed to be last Thursday, but work was awful, so we weren't able to record the special episode that we have coming out.
I just wanted to read my book and watch Boba Fett, which is why I didn't want to record the episode.
Well, we didn't actually watch Boba Fett till, Friday night?
No, we watched it Thursday night.
We watched it Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
While
I painted my nails.
And while I was drooling with my brain leaking out of my ear?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did watch it then.
Yeah, that was kind of, it was an awful week. But this week is going to be better, so we're just going to go ahead and record this Tuesday, get it all knocked out.
Watch Tuesday be a terrible day, and neither one of us want to do it.
Well, I'm home, and all you have to do is just sit there and react to what I'm going to tell you.
That's true.
So it's going to be an easy episode.
I don't have to put forth any effort.
Exactly. And,
ooh. Ah.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And the occasional Karen, put your phone down. But no, it's going to be fun. And we're going to do one a week until the 13th of February. Which we will have a very special episode. So we actually have a very special episode coming out next Monday.
And maybe that next week we'll pick up Marvel again. Because... you have something going on that's gotten me back into wanting to watch Marvel again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I thought you wanted to do Marvel started earlier than that.
That we would have to do 2 Patreon episodes a week.
That would be 3 episodes
That's a
a week.
big commitment.
I'm fine with it.
I don't know that I am yet. Talk to me later.
Okay. All right. Apart from that, it has been, like we said last week, giving us great results. Asking our listeners to share with their friends the episodes. We've gotten
Tell your friends.
a substantial amount of downloads these past, I want to say 3 weeks since we started asking our listeners. And we're just here again to ask you again one more time to please tell your friends about the show.
I know that a lot of you people are Dragon Ball People fans, so you need to tell your friends to listen to this Dragon Ball People episode.
And the previous Dragon Ball Kakarot episode where we talked about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
But this one's all Dragon Ball.
Yes, this whole episode is
all
Dragon Ball.
All across the board. I even played the game.
Yes, you did.
I did. Even, for like an hour.
Even the garbage is going to be Dragon Ball themed. And it's not
everything Dragon Ball.
And it's not Super Saiyan.
It's not. We thought about including Super Saiyan, but we didn't.
No, because we have...
It would taint.
We have like 20 more Dragon Ball episodes that we have to do in the future.
I don't want to do any more Dragon Ball.
Well, too bad, because there's a ton of games, and this year I want to consume as much Akira Toriyama content as I possibly can, and I'm starting with Dragon Ball, and Dragon Quest is going to be there eventually, so...
I guess since I downloaded Viz, we have to take advantage of it.
I mean, you can read Arale. You might like Arale. That's a very cutesy children's...
Okay. And it's not that I didn't dislike it. We'll get into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that I disliked it, excuse me.
So, something that you did like this week, that you were obsessed with.
Oh my God! Amazon finally released the teaser trailer and title of the show. The show! The Lord of the Rings show, in case you weren't able to infer from my excitement levels. So yeah, it's going to be called The Rings of Power, and the teaser is literally just, like, them filling in rivets that spell out the Rings of Power with, like...
Rivets or crevices?
Crevices, rivets. What
rivets? Rivets are
Not
the bolts.
Rivets. Oh,
that they put on the side of metal to.
Oh, whatever. Rivet sounds like a word for a carving in wood. Yeah, that sounds like that in my brain. There are these valleys in
and
the
you're
wood
the English major.
that they fill in. Hey, just because it's been a long time since I was in college, and my memory is nowhere near what it was when I was in school. Nowhere near.
That's a good beer.
Anyway,
I'm drinking a beer.
They have the molten stuff that they pour into the valleys, and the whole teaser trailer is just it, like, forming the words, and young Galadriel saying, I'm assuming it's young Galadriel.
Yeah, because she's saying the intro for the first movie, right?
Yeah. Fellowship. It's only like 46 seconds long.
I really like that it was like actually done like for reals. It wasn't just
Yes, it was
CG.
real. It was not CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
One of the guys from the OneRing.net got to see it happen, and he was just like amazed.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm so jealous. I wish I were old and part of the OneRing.net. It's like all of people in their 50s.
Really? Even the guy that presents it on TikTok and shit from the videos that you show me?
Don Marshall, he's not from the OneRing.net.
Oh.
All of the OneRing.net people are older individuals who were probably born in the 60s and 70s.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, wasn't it like a board and it ended up with like the title of the show?
Uh-huh.
Do you think somebody gets to keep that?
Jeffrey posted a photo of himself with it.
I don't know who that is. Jeffrey Zakarian?
No, Jeffrey Bezos.
Oh, god damn that
It
fucker.
looks like it's in his home, which really bums me out. But I mean, it might not be like, there might be multiples. I don't know. It seems really involved for there to be more than one. But surely the bajillionaire gets one to put in his house if he's quit as CEO to devote himself solely to this show.
That fucking waste of space. That guy is so...
God, I hope they don't fuck it up.
God, I hate that guy.
Anyways. But they did also say that there are going to be 8 episodes in this first season, and the first 2 episodes are 3 hours long.
Huh.
3 hours apiece.
I'm very bummed that it's by Amazon. I need to figure out a way how to pirate it so we can actually watch it without me feeling guilty.
You know, I use Amazon. You don't use it. You're not associated with it. You don't even have an Amazon account.
I don't.
You're just going to have to pretend that we're watching it on Discovery Plus or something. Just pretend. Just pretend. Just pretend.
I'll try.
Just pretend.
I'm still gonna pirate it.
I'll watch it by myself if I have to. I don't care. I'm watching it.
So, talking about Jeffries, tell me what happened this week while we were watching Chopped.
Oh my God.
It feels like we haven't talked about Chopped
We
in a long
haven't,
time.
because we purposefully stopped talking about Chopped because that was like all we were talking about in the intro. But this one episode we saw,
It's
I
like
think it was
the
a Beat Bobby Play
Beat Bobby
episode,
Play?
yeah. From season 46.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This is season 46 of volume 3. I think volume 3 starts at like season 41 though. I don't think starts at season 1. Anyway.
Can you imagine season 46 of volume 3?
And it was from 1 to 46? That's insane.
Exactly.
No. So
Like there's 3 volumes of like 50 seasons of Chopped.
in the dessert round, they were given kiwi, and both of these chefs did nothing with the kiwi except peel it and dice it. That's all they did. They didn't do anything to transform the kiwi. And my husband was screaming at the TV, "That is beautiful kiwi! There are so many things you can do with it. It's so underappreciated." Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. He really loves kiwi a lot.
I
Especially
love
blonde
kiwis.
kiwi.
Actually, I
You
do
love
like the
regular
blonde.
kiwi
I
more
love-
than the blonde kiwi?
I love them equally.
You are passionate about your kiwi.
The thing is that
Passionate.
we buy the blonde more because it's not in season all the time. So every time they have it in season, I'm like, I'm getting some of that blonde kiwi because that shit is amazing with a little bit of honey on top. Oh my God, it's so good. But they were giving the regular kiwi, and they were giving strawberry liqueur.
Given.
No, that rosé tequila that has strawberry and cream.
I wasn't really paying
tequila.
attention at that point. I don't know.
And the judges were like, "Oh, it'd be nice if somebody made like a strawberry
Kiwi sorbet.
like a strawberry kiwi ice cream."
Mm-hmm.
No, they just diced it up. Like they could have candied the kiwi. They could have fucking turned it into a mousse or a puree or a sorbet. Which I the first thing that I said when I saw the kiwi, I was like, just make a kiwi sorbet and go from there, because the rest of the basket was perfect for a kiwi sorbet. And no, I was so mad.
All of them just diced it up and tossed it on the plate.
Just literally both of them. They just diced it
And the judges didn't knock either one of them for doing that.
No.
I was pretty irritated.
Me too.
I think they were like, it's a dessert round, and they both did it. We can't yell at them.
But it was also like one of those episodes where the least terrible chef won.
Yeah, it was
It was
what's the word? What are the words? It was a technicality
yeah.
that the one person won because they
Yeah.
both sucked.
Yeah, and like the
There
good
was just
chef,
one sucked less.
the really, really good chef that competed got chopped on the first round because she got scared of the basket.
Yep.
And then afterwards,
She
she's
totally
like,
would have beaten all their asses.
she was like, "Oh, I should have cooked the way I cooked."
Safe. Never play it safe on Chopped. Never.
And what was that guy when he said, what's your flavor for this dish?" And he goes,
Neutral. And Bobby Flay is just like, are you fucking kidding me? You think you're going to beat me with neutral flavor?
No, he said, "I wish you get to the final round and then you go up against me.
Yeah,
because
so
if
I
you
can
cook this
beat your
way, I'm going to
pants
beat you."
Yeah. I mean, gosh, it really infuriates me to see how much Bobby Flay wins.
You might not like the guy, but he does have good technique.
He's grown on me more the more we've watched him, unlike Amanda Freitag. Anyway, on to the next topic.
Before we get to the next topic, you can hate him as much as you want, but he has really good technique. Like,
He does.
In the show Beat Bobby Flay, they say the most outrageous dish possible as, you know, the one that the contestant is their specialty. And most of the time he's like, "Oh, I know what that is. I'm going to do my spin on it." It's bullshit that he wins sometimes, but yeah, I get it. So next thing that we have before we get into book talk. What happened at Barnes & Noble this week?
Oh my gosh. So I went into Barnes & Noble because I have a gift card that I've just been lugging around with me for ages now. And the second Crescent City book is coming out in less than a month now. So I wanted to go pre-order it because I wanted to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Not the signed edition, though, because they never fucking have those on pub day. I learned that with the first one. Like, fuck that. I'm not waiting another 2 weeks just to get it signed.
Aren't you waiting still for the Court of Silver Flame signed book? Or is it the President's No signed book or something like that?
I didn't get that one signed. I didn't care about having her sign that one. But Silver Flames, yeah, I tried to get the signed one for that, and they called me for it, but I didn't want to pay for it at that point. Because I had already gotten the regular one, because I wanted it then.
Yeah,
I
remember
need it now.
I was off from work. Like, can you go pick up this book and bring it to me at work?
You need to know that that's always your task if you're off work.
Oh, Lord.
Or like nearby a Barnes & Noble. You can go in there and get that book for me, then go back on the clock. That's fine. Anyway, I was fully prepared to go get it on my
I'm
lunch.
going to make you do that Friday. You're going to go get my Pokemon game Friday.
But I work.
I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I went into Barnes & Noble to pre-order this book, and I obviously had to look around because you can't go in there and not look around. And I'm just minding my own business, looking at the book talk table. And this woman comes over and she's like, excuse me.
Wait. We have a table in Barnes & Noble? We have a dedicated table for our...
Oh my gosh. Book talk. Talk. Not talk. Talk.
Damn
talk. Talk.
I was going to be like, we haven't gotten any royalties.
TikTok. I'm sorry.
No royalties, but I'm still happy about it.
No, we don't have a table, unfortunately. That would be really cool. All of my book recommendations, as heard on a novel console, read these books.
And it's just like...
Don't read these books.
It's like all
Sarah J. Maas and Lord of the Rings.
And porn.
And
weird comic books that nobody's ever heard of.
And here is a squirrel dildo to use while you read it.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
And a baldo for your husband.
Anyway, so this woman comes up and she's like, sorry, do you have a Court of Thorns and Roses? And I looked at her, and I should have just gone along with it. I really should have. But my first instinct was, I don't work here. I was like, but I can show you where it is because I know way more about that book than I'm sure any of the people who work here do. So I took her to the book, and it made my day. And my aunt was like, maybe you should go get a part-time job there. And I'm like, do you know how much Barnes & Noble pays? Fuck no, I'm not going to go get a part-time job there. Oh, no.
It would be enough money for you to
put it back into the store.
Not even. It would be like enough money for you to buy gas or lunch once, and that's it.
Yeah, because there's no Barnes & Noble near us. Well, not close enough for it to be worth it anymore.
Yeah. Let's say that there was this one time when I think I was like 15, and I was at GameStop buying a game, and I was looking at the DS games. And this couple was standing next to me, and they grabbed Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow for the DS. And the new one, Portrait of Ruin, had come out, and they were both the same price. And the girl, I remember the girl being like, oh, this game looks so good, maybe we should buy it. I like the Castlevania games from when I was a kid and whatnot. And I just look at her and I'm like, if you're going to buy a Castlevania game, don't buy that one. Buy Portrait of Ruin or Aria of Sorrow. Because Dawn of Sorrow is kind of fun, but it has these touch control things that are awful, and that just ruins the entire game. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He said, okay. And she just put it back and grabbed Portrait of Ruin, and I was like, yes, somebody bought the good Castlevania game.
People listen to me. Does that mean people listen to us now that we have this podcast?
I mean, some of our friends...
Our regular listeners listen to us.
Some of our friends have told us, oh, hey, I heard you talking about this. It's really good. I'm like, you heard the episode. It is good.
It makes my heart so happy. Jen just told me that she finished The Love Hypothesis in like 2 days and figured out who all of the other characters are. The other girl that I thought was like a female Finn. No, it's Rose. It's like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
That's funny.
Than my crazy theory.
That it's Finn.
Makes a lot more sense.
That's good. All right, so are you ready to go into book talk?
I'm ready.
All right, so this is book talk.
This week's books are the Dragon Ball Full Color Saiyan Arcs Volumes 1, 2, and 3. They were all published by Viz Media. The first one was published on February 4th, 2014. The second one on April 1st, 2014. And the third on June 3rd, 2014. I had already read Volume 1 like 2 years ago, roughly.
I think it might have been more than that. I think it might have been when we started dating.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I can look at my dates read on Goodreads. But didn't we like go to the library together one day and you saw it and picked it up for me to read? I know I read a physical copy of it.
That sounds about right. It was kind of like a book, and it looked kind of like a coloring book.
And you're right.
Manga.
I read it end of October 2017. So we started dating in July of 2017.
So it was like 4 months into
I was trying
it.
to impress you.
Oh, look at you. I remember I bought you Berserk and you still haven't read it.
It's okay. Shh, don't think about it.
I don't think you're going to like Berserk.
No?
No.
I mean, we'll see. If I don't, I'll just take it to Bright Light, or you can have it.
I don't want it.
It's funny. I started reading it 2 days before our wedding anniversary. So 2 days and 3 years before we got married, I was reading Dragon Ball.
Nice.
So I read it on the Viz Media app this time. They give you a 7-day free trial, and then it's only $1.99 a month. And we may or may not be sharing a login. Don't tell anybody. So it's really affordable for all of the Viz library, basically.
Isn't Junji Ito Viz?
Is Junji Ito is Viz, I think. Wait.
Because wasn't he part of the Viz
look.
Media sale at that Books A Million that one time?
I'm pretty sure. Let me see if there's any Junji Ito on here. Oh my gosh, there is! Oh! Censored, Deserter, Love Sickness, Remina, Uzumaki, Tomi, Fragments of Heart, Geo, Smash, Shiver, Frankenstein, and Venus in the Blind Spot. Oh my god, we're gonna have a field day with this.
Holy shit. I still haven't finished Tommy. I need to finish Tommy.
You never finished Tommy?
No,
Shame on you.
Last thing I read was the Blood Carpet.
Shame. Assassin's Creed is the first thing on the homepage right now.
That's weird. All right, so tell me about Dragon Ball.
I'm going to have so much fun with this. Okay, yeah. So, Naruto. That fox kid.
You might like Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto's a little bit more drama than Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's a lot of fighting.
So, I'm glad I read it in color because I don't think my interest would have been held if I had read it in black and white. I
feel the other way.
Really?
Yeah, I love the anime, but just looking at it in color on paper is just weird.
Really?
Yeah, because I went through it. I think it was in 2015. I read all of the original Dragon Ball and all of Z in an app, and I read it in black and white, and I loved it. It was great. And now that I tried rereading because I didn't even get through the fight with Raditz. It was just kind of weird.
So, like, would Dragon Ball fans know like the story of this arc?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I say like where it begins and ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People are not going to be mad. Dragon Ball is like 40 years old. No, it's not.
So this arc that I read begins with Goku and baby Gohan, and Raditz shows up and is like, "You're my brother Kakarot. I'm going to kill you because you were supposed to take over Earth. Shame on you. You're a weakling now." And it ends with Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin. Whatever.
Kuririn.
Whatever.
Just call him Krillin.
They're all going to Namek.
Yeah.
To get the Dragon Balls to bring back Yamcha, the dude that you say is a joke, and that little white powder boy who actually blew himself to bits. So we don't know that they'll be able to bring him back.
Chiaotzu.
And somebody else.
Tien.
Tien? Remind me who that one was?
The one with the third eye.
That one.
And
yeah.
Piccolo.
And Piccolo, yes, because now we're soft for Piccolo, and little Gohan wants to dress up like Piccolo because he loves him very much.
It's so cute.
Piccolo definitely caught feelings for Gohan too. It was kind of cute.
You want to know something very funny?
What?
Piccolo is 4 years older than Gohan.
You're shitting me. You're shitting me. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I'm serious.
That's confusing.
So in Dragon Ball, the big bad at the end was the evil demon King Piccolo.
Oh.
Which is Piccolo's quote unquote dad. When Goku killed him, he spit out an egg.
Which was this Piccolo.
Piccolo Jr.
Okay.
And
that's not confusing.
In, I think it was a year, he grew into a full adult, fought Goku in the world tournament, lost. He swore revenge against Goku. He ended up helping him, and he becomes one of the Sea Fighters.
And it was funny, like, the things I remembered and didn't remember. Like, I remembered Raditz cutting off his arm, and I was like, isn't he like a lizard? Can't he just regrow the arm? But he takes so long to regrow the arm that I was convinced I was just making things up in my head. And then boom, last minute, he regrows his arm. I'm like, well, you could have done that like 7 pages ago and it would have benefited us a lot more.
See that
with your finger magic.
They never explain it there, but I assume, because it does happen later on in the series, I assume that he doesn't regrow it because it takes a lot of energy to regrow it. And he would have lost all that energy regrowing his arm that he could have used for the fight.
Now, I know I told you that I didn't like love it or anything, but I also want to make it clear that I don't dislike it. But for me, as an outsider, with someone who loves Dragon Ball so much, I already have all these ideas in my head from things that you've told me and you think I don't pay attention to, but I've paid attention enough that when I'm reading this, I'm so confused. I am so terribly confused because I'm like, I thought Goku and Vegeta were like best buds.
No, Vegeta hates Goku.
Don't they become like closer though? Don't they like work together?
But Vegeta still hates Goku.
But he doesn't try to kill him every 5 seconds, right? He just he tolerates him.
He tries to surpass. They try to surpass each other.
I see.
So
Goku hurt Vegeta's ego.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be the strongest Saiyan.
Yeah, the Saiyan.
Then the whole Super Saiyan thing really threw me off. Like, I thought that Nappa was being serious when he said that because Gohan is half human and half Saiyan that he's a Super Saiyan. And I was like, well, shit, that means that Goku and Vegeta are not Super Saiyans because they're not half human. But I guess that was just a joke. Also, why is Nappa like a well-known person if he's literally dead within just a couple pages? What the fuck? All these people are dead that you made seem like had a bigger role in this thing, and they're all dead. Does literally everybody just come back to life? Does everyone get to go down the serpent trail and come back to life?
No.
Also, I see these Funko Pops and I'm like, oh, so that guy is actually up in heaven on his tennis ball planet. Because his planet literally looks like a tennis ball.
You're talking about King Kai. Kai-Osama.
Yeah, and Bubbles.
Wait, did they call him King Kai or Kai-Osama in the...
Kai-Osama.
Kai-Osama?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That name I couldn't pronounce, so I was just like, kalala. In my head.
It's Kaio-sama.
Kaio-sama. But then also I was confused by the Piccolo dude in the underworld watching over real Piccolo. Be like, oh.
Underworld?
Well,
no,
was it the
in
underworld?
the Lookout.
The Lookout.
Kami, in the Lookout.
In like purgatory, basically, sort of. No. That's where he's where the person decided if people go to heaven or hell.
Oh, yeah. King Yama. King Yama is the one that does the paperwork for them to go to heaven or hell.
But the Piccolo looking dude is there too.
Kami. No, he went there to
Mr. Popo.
He went there to send Goku to King Kai's planet, to Kai-Osama's planet.
But he's not staying there.
No. He goes back to the Lookout.
He was like Goku's escort service.
Pretty much, he was just like, oh, you need to go train, so just...
Not a hooker, but literal escort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the fuck does Mr. Popo come into this?
Mr. Popo trained...
Why is he so black? Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
He is literally black as night.
He is a very problematic character because Akira Toriyama might or might not have been very racist in Dragon Ball.
Oh dear.
He does the big lips on black characters, the big ears, all those problematic.
Does Mr. Popo have big lips? I couldn't see any lips.
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah, he does.
I only saw eyes.
And he has like 3 teeth.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
very, very
Oh
problematic
no.
character.
That's awkward.
They did a quote unquote remake of Dragon Ball called Dragon Ball Kai, and they cut out a lot of the filler, so the story's more linear. And they did a bunch of alterations to some of the characters, and one of them is Mr. Popo. Instead of being black, he's purple now, and so they could tone down the racism on him. But Mr. Popo in the original Dragon Ball, Goku climbed Korn's tower. He gained more power from Korn's tower. Then he learned that Kami could train him to help him defeat Piccolo. When he got up there, he met with Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo trained him, and then I think Kami trained him, and then he went back to Earth. So Mr. Popo's just another master to teach people.
I see. And I felt like I just needed like a Dragon Ball history lesson going into this because I didn't understand that Goku didn't know that he was Saiyan, and like I didn't understand that these people were Earthlings, but like they can fly and they have clouds that they fly on.
Goku has
and
a
they
cloud that
have
he can fly.
powers, but they're human. But they also like live among aliens, but they're also weirded out by the aliens that come to their planet that look like them. Like it's normal for Piccolo to live next door, but it's weird for these aliens to come down that look exactly like you. I don't understand.
See, it's not weird for them that Piccolo is an alien because they thought Piccolo was a demon.
Right, I remember them calling him a demon.
Yeah.
The demon Piccolo.
Demon King Piccolo. So they thought he was a demon.
He
not
doesn't
an
seem
alien.
very demonic to me.
No, he really isn't. Piccolo Jr. really isn't evil. His dad was a piece of shit.
Why don't you have a Piccolo Funko Pop?
I don't.
No, I don't see one.
Huh, that's
I
weird.
see Cell and I see Frieza. I don't see Piccolo.
No, I'm telling you, you got through the Saiyan arc. Personally, I think the Saiyan arc is kind of the hardest one to get through.
Also, another question. How the fuck does a mother just let her son go away for 6 months? How? How? How does Chi-Chi not show up until way past the end of that 6 months and then she's all a concerned parent? Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You'll see more about Chi-Chi and how protective she becomes of Gohan and all that, and what happens to Gohan because of Chi-Chi. It's. I just want you to keep reading it because I feel like at some point, it's gonna click with you, and you're gonna be like, okay, that was actually good. Not the most amazing thing, but it's actually
And like, where the
good.
fuck does Broly come in? Jeez.
He's not canon until Super.
And these androids and Boo and Frieza and all these other Funko Pops.
So
that
Frieza
I
is
see.
in Namek. You're gonna
Okay.
You're gonna learn
We're
about
gonna-
Frieza
okay.
in Namek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there more color volumes? I think there were.
Yeah,
There was a different arc of
there's
color stuff.
All of it.
All of it is in color?
All of Z
Okay.
is in color.
Good. I need color.
Yeah.
Because with manga and those black and white, everything runs together and I have a hard time differentiating what's happening.
There's a manga that I love called Gantz. It's extremely violent, and it does that where all the colors just blend together, all the blacks just blend together, and you're just looking at it like, what the fuck am I looking at? It just looks like a black blob on the
Yeah, because
page.
there was this arc that I got approved for a long time ago of manga. I have no idea what it was. I couldn't tell you now. But I DNF'd it because I literally could not differentiate what the fuck the panels were. What in the world was happening? It was just like lines of frantic lines everywhere. I was like, there's some sense of urgency here, but I don't know what's happening.
But what else do you want to say about Dragon Ball? What did you
Where do
think?
their new hair colors come into play? Why do they turn
Namek.
into gorillas, but then they never turn into gorillas again?
That's from Dragon Ball.
What's the difference between blonde hair, blue hair, and pink hair?
That's in Super.
And
You're asking a lot of questions that you're far away from.
well, I get so thrown by all this, like I said, all the stuff that you've already given me, and you're confusing me.
So if you look at my Funko Pops, you see
Where
regular.
is Trunks?
You see Goku.
Yeah,
No, you see Raditz. Then you see Goku. Then you see Super Saiyan Goku.
I see Nappa.
And then so on and so forth. And then you see Kid Gohan. Then other Gohan. Then adulter Gohan, and so on.
You have Gohan dressed up as Piccolo.
Yeah, and I think I have.
Oh, that was a very cute moment.
And
that was adorable.
I have Gohan with his yellow.
You need a Piccolo.
Shirt. I do need a Piccolo.
I'll buy it for you.
So weird that I don't have a Piccolo there.
I liked Piccolo. I think he may have been my favorite character.
Piccolo's a really cool character.
I liked him.
He's a great character.
I like seeing he's like he's your stereotypical bad guy who wants to be seen as a bad guy, but he has a heart.
Yeah, eventually that stops.
Oh.
Yeah, eventually it just goes away completely, and then, it's just Piccolo.
Oh, okay.
Vegeta takes over that role.
Okay.
Yeah, and Vegeta.
He's really little.
Yeah, Vegeta's short,
especially compared to Nappa.
Yeah,
he's like obscenely. He's like the Andre the Giant of the Saiyans.
Yeah, I think Vegeta canon is like 5'2".
Oh, and I also had to say that I really relate to the little fat boy more than anybody else.
Yajirobe.
The one who cuts off Vegeta's tail.
Yajirobe.
I related to him. He's like, if I knew I was going to die today, I would have eaten more pork buns. It's like, I felt that in my soul. In my soul.
So,
if I knew I was going to die today, I would have gone to Taco Bell one last time.
When Goku met Yajirobe the first time, he took him to Korn's tower, and Korn's the one that makes the sensu beans. He grows them. I'm sure you saw sensu beans.
Oh, no.
The little beans that they eat them and they get all their energy back and they heal up and everything.
I don't think so.
No?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think Goku... Does Goku give one to Gohan, or is that a Namek? I think it's a Namek. Anyways, he takes him to Korn's tower, and Yajirobe, being the fat ass that he is, he starts just shoveling...
He's so chubby.
He starts shoveling... sensu beans into his mouth, and the thing is, you only need one, and it'll sustain you.
It's like Lembas.
It'll sustain you for 2 weeks.
It's like Lembas.
And he eats a shit ton of them, and then he almost dies because of that.
It's like Pippin with the Lembas.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
It's great. Dragon Ball is so much fun. I really should have started you off with Dragon Ball instead of Dragon Ball Z, so that you could start the story from the beginning. But the good thing is that we have this podcast and we can do as many episodes as we want from Dragon Ball. So
is that Orange Funko Vegeta going cow tay whatever that method
Kaioken?
is?
No,
you know, okay.
No. Vegeta doesn't do Kaioken. That's him training. I think under 500 times Earth gravity in a special training chamber that he has.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's why he's
yeah.
orange.
Like I said, I didn't dislike it. Didn't love it, but. I'll keep going. I'm curious now.
You're curious now?
Yeah. Yeah. And I liked the game, which we're going to get into in a minute. So.
Yeah. So
don't make me watch the movies again, please, God.
No.
Please.
So what I'm thinking is, once you get through all of Dragon Ball Z, which will happen at some point this year, I'm just going to have you watch with me Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Is it dubbed?
Yes. It's people
English
making
dubbed?
Fun of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
And it's very, very fun. Just like that video that I showed you today of Nappa singing I Was Bald This Way.
Lady Gaga?
Those people. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna find it so funny because it makes so much fun of Dragon Ball and it's written so well. Like I'm so excited. We're finally doing this.
I don't want to go watch any more movies, please.
We got one
Don't
coming out
make
soon.
me go watch a movie.
We got one coming out this year. It's gonna be so good.
I'll take my Kendall with me again. You can take Sarah and Saimara with you again.
Saimara didn't care, so I'll just take Sarah.
Well, I know. Saimara and I bonded over both of us not caring.
Oh God.
I'll eat the popcorn.
Yeah, you
Drinking icy.
You're gonna become a fan. I know you're gonna become a fan
Okay.
at some point. All right. So, what do you want to rate the Saiyan saga?
I gave it 3 stars across the board.
What?
Yeah.
So, if it were out of 10, would that be like a 7?
Yeah, because it's not bad. It was like average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
I do have to confess, I looked at my Goodreads rating from 2017 and I gave it 4 stars then.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I hope it wasn't to impress you.
You wouldn't have impressed me anyways because I had no way of looking at it.
I know. No. I mean, I would have told you. I know you wouldn't have seen it.
You didn't tell me either. Otherwise, I would have remembered.
No.
Yeah, no, you didn't tell me.
I don't know. I don't know what changed. Although, you know how I feel about reading on a deadline too. I get this
Yeah.
wad in my panties, so to speak.
Yeah, you just spent
And
your entire Sunday just reading Dragon
y'all just
Ball.
wait till next week. I'm gonna be ill as a fucking hornet. Fucking hornet. Oh God, it's gonna
I
be like pulling teeth getting me through that book this week. I got to read all of it this week because I only made it through 5%, and I'm like wanting to bang my head against the wall.
I haven't started the game for next week. I'm gonna do it.
God.
I'm gonna start it Tuesday. Hopefully, I'll finish it Saturday. I gotta play
Look.
it. I gotta play it during the day because it's a horror game. So, all right.
Yeah, it's not horror month, person.
But
God.
it's a wintry episode.
Yeah, we need to make sure if we go with a season episode again, it needs to be not horror. Please and thank you.
Is there a spring horror story or
Hell,
something?
I haven't even gotten to the horror parts, and it already feels like horror to me.
All right. That's spoilers. So let's go ahead and get into some Game Sense stuff. All right, so for this week's game, we have Dragon Ball Fighters, not Fighters with a Z at the end, like Dragon Ball Z, but Fighters.
I know.
Originally, I thought, when Kaden reads the Saiyan saga, I should play The Legacy of Goku, which is an awful game. And I didn't buy it. And I saw it yesterday, and I was like, I could probably get through that game in like 8 hours. And it was like $10. But I didn't buy it. I mean, I'll get it eventually. I do have Legacy of Goku 2 and Boost Fury, which are fantastic. But I can do it some other time. I really just wanted to sync it up. But I think I'll do Legacy of Goku 2 whenever you do Namek, and Boost Fury whenever you do the Buu Saga.
Okay.
And we'll work that out. Anyways, Fighter Z is a 2.5D fighting game. It was developed by Arc System Works, and it was published by Bandai Namco Entertainment on, let me see here, January 6, 2018. It was released for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and it got a Nintendo Switch release on September 27th, 2018. So what's that, like 8 months after if originally released in January?
Yeah.
You bought me this game when it came out.
Once again, trying to impress you.
I think I was working at Westgate, and it came out, and I think I had it pre-ordered, and you finished paying for it and picked it up for me. So I remember I got home from work at Marina Landing, and you were there with the game, and I was very happy because I was finally going to get to play it.
Yay, me. Good girlfriend.
Yeah. So the thing I was most excited about this game when it came out is that it's a fighting game made by the people who make Guilty Gear, which is my favorite fighting game series of all time. And a Dragon Ball Z fighting game made by the people from Guilty Gear. I mean, like, this is like my teenage self's perfect fighting game. Oh my God. There are some issues with this game that I didn't like, but there's a lot of stuff that I love about this game. And so where should we start? Should we start with the graphics, the way that the game looks?
Sure.
So what do you think about the game?
It's very colorful. It's very clear. I don't appreciate pixel games the way that you do because I'm not a gamer. And I don't see the picture clearly like you do. You're like, oh, look at those plants and that house and that coffin and look at this beautiful path and it's just gorgeous. I'm like, I just see little squares. They're different colors. So I appreciate that it's not pixels. It's very clear, it's very precise, and it doesn't make me feel queasy.
Like Soul Calibur did.
Yes, because he had me compare, or he wanted me to see the how similar these fighting games were. So we did that, and then Guilty Gear, and then Soul Calibur. And Soul Calibur was about to make me vomit.
So it's like, oh, we've never played Soul Calibur together. We've played Tekken together, but not Soul Calibur. So let's try some
It's
Soul
even
Calibur.
Tekken. If I play it too long, it starts to make me feel icky.
Yeah, it's just a camera movement because it moves kind of jerky.
So Dragon Ball is a lot smoother.
It's the 2D, the 2D fighting.
I
plane.
appreciate the 2D.
I noticed a lot of things since I spent a lot of time in this game over the past week and a half. I noticed that there's a lot of little effects, like when the fights start, there's kind of like the character's energy is kind of like radiating off their body, like if it's smoke. And then once the fight starts, the smoke clears and then the fighting starts. And there's these little effects like the characters shoot key blasts, and if you dash towards the character while they're shooting key blasts, the key blasts just like bounce off of their dash and hit different parts of the arena. And I noticed that one of them flew out into the background and hit like a rock in the background. And the rock was perfectly fine before it hit it. And when it hit it, it got kind of like a crater from where the key blast hit and a puff of smoke that eventually cleared, leaving the crater. And
That's nice detail.
those details are like crazy good. And they happen throughout the game. And I honestly, I didn't pay attention to them until, right now when I played this. Let me talk about the story. So according to the Wikipedia, the game takes place somewhere between the Universe 6 tournament and the Future Trunks arc of Dragon Ball Super. So this is in a territory that's relatively new to the Dragon Ball universe. And I like what they did. They have this new android come in called Android 21. She wants to become the strongest being in the universe and eat all of the sea fighters. And she creates this machine that sends out waves that suppresses their energies. But there's Android 16, which was an android from the Cell Saga that got killed that helped Gohan become Super Saiyan 2. They have him link an artificial soul into the characters to help them unlock their powers so that they can beat Android 21. Now, the funny thing about this is that because everybody's powers are suppressed, they're all basically the same power level. So the joke character, Yamcha,
Yamcha!
is the same power level as Super Saiyan Goku.
Oh. That's confusing.
It's
He's
very
still
funny.
lying there dead, as far as I know.
Yeah. And the thing that's funny about it is that Super Saiyan is a times 50 multiplier on the power level of the character that's turning Super Saiyan. So let's say if Goku's power level is 500 when he goes...
Times 5,000.
So when he goes Super Saiyan, is 500 times 50.
Oh, 500, excuse me.
Yeah. So it goes like that. And it's just funny that Yamcha and Super Saiyan Goku have the same power level in the story mode.
Raditz would lose his mind.
Yeah, he would. He would. And surprisingly, he's not in the game. I always miss Raditz when he's not in Dragon Ball fighting games.
Oh, yeah, he isn't there.
No. Now, a couple of things about the story before we get into the rest of the game. The story has three arcs. The Super Warrior arc, the Enemy Warrior arc, and the Android 21 arc. These all just kind of like build into the story to tell a complete tale of Android 21 and what's going on and whatever. And the way that they play out is you start building your teams by rescuing these characters from these evil clones that are attacking and whatnot. And the way that it's set up is they give you a little bit of story after you reach certain spots in the map, because they give you like a map, like a board game, where they have enemy units that you touch and you go into a fight. I hated that part. I absolutely fucking hated it. I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. And then I saw how long the loading times are and how long it takes for you to actually get to the fight, and then how long it takes for you to get out of the fight, and then how long it takes you to get to the next fight, and then rinse and repeat. And it gets to the point where a story that should take about an hour for you to experience in each arc goes into 4.5, maybe 5 hours. And on top of that,
That's a big difference.
Yeah, on top of that, they add levels. So your characters keep leveling up, but you have to beat all of the enemies in that map before you get to the boss fight. And then on top of that, you have a specific amount of moves that you can do on the board before you run out. So it just keeps building on and on and on and making it so that the game is artificially extended. When you start the story mode, the first thing they tell you is play the story mode so you can learn how to play the game. And I just got to the point where I was over it, and I just kept rushing to the boss fight and just spamming my way through because it.
You yelled at me for spamming. I didn't even know that was what I was doing.
That's different. I mean, we were playing you
is
against
it-
me. It was
is
you
it-
against me. It was two people playing against each other. It's not me against the PC
computer.
where it doesn't affect anything other than my experience with the game. Now, if I
True.
would have started spamming you, you would have gone mad.
Probably.
You would have.
Would
So-
I have known that was what you were doing?
Yes. No. Well, you wouldn't have known the term for it, but you would have known what I was doing.
What are you doing, bitch?
Stop. Stop. You're doing the same thing over and over again.
You're making me angry. I'm not going to play with you anymore.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, the story, it's a fun story. I just wish it was presented in a better way. Like if they would have just condensed all three arcs and just have like branching paths without the board and just have like the regular fights like Guilty Gear games do and how the Mortal Kombat games have done recently, I feel like that would have been a more cohesive way to tell a story while also showing you how to play the game, which is the ultimate goal of the story mode. Other than that, the music in this game is fucking awesome. It's great. I love the
It was
music.
pleasant.
It goes from electronic music to drum and bass, rock and metal. And there's one particular song where the rhythm is on an acoustic guitar, but they have like a metal backtrack in the back. It's great. And all the voice acting is all these people that are reprising the roles from the Dragon Ball Super English dub anime. So they do an excellent job. The Frieza actor, I wasn't a fan of him originally because I grew up watching the Toonami Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z. So I kind of missed that voice actor, and this new one didn't feel right. And after playing through this campaign, like he really did do a really good job being Frieza. Like he felt like Frieza. And unfortunately, he passed earlier he passed late last year.
2021?
2021.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a shame that we're not gonna get to see him reprise his role as Frieza anymore because his Frieza was actually really, really good. It just didn't feel right the few times that I watched it. Other than that, tell me, what do you think about the game? Tell me everything that you want to say about this game.
So, I guess I'll think of it in relation to the two games that we played afterwards. I know we played it more than we played those two, Guilty Gear and Soul Calibur, but, and like you explained the controls to me, but I still felt like I was able to grasp what I was doing more easily with Dragon Ball than I was with the other two.
But then with Guilty Gear?
Yeah.
Because the way that the fighting system in Guilty Gear is what's called a stylish fighting system, where you just do one button presses and you do a whole combo that ends in a super attack, which is really it's fun. It's fun. You don't really need to have any skill to play it. Anybody can pick up and play it. Now, if you want to learn all the other things about it, then you have to actually put time and effort into learning how else you can chain those combos, which is where the depth comes in. But for somebody that really doesn't play video games, it's a good fighting game, like you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like I was able to fairly quickly catch on to what I needed to do to beat your pants off, which I think I did for the most part.
Yeah. The thing is, the game ended when we turned it off. It was me with 2 wins, and you had 6 wins.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You let me win a couple of them, though.
The first 3 I let you win, but then the other ones I started trying to do things that I had learned in the story mode.
You were mad when I blocked you or missed you. I sidestepped you, something like that.
Yeah, I did a special,
And I moved.
like a 3-bar special, and then you moved just enough for me to not touch you.
It was like in the comic when
When what?
Vegeta sidesteps Piccolo's finger twirls.
Oh, the special beam cannon.
Yes.
Oh, wait, is it special beam cannon or is it Makanko Sapo?
I don't remember. I don't know. I just know Vegeta like just steps over to the side and
And that's it.
yep. Yep. No, or is it Raditz? I don't remember. Whatever. They all blend together. I don't want to say it was easy, but for a non-gaming person, it was fairly easy to catch on quickly. And
Yeah.
I felt like I got to a point where I wasn't just pressing buttons mindlessly like I always do when we play fighting games.
See, when we played Soul Calibur, I feel like we were even in Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Not because I never played the game. I bought all the DLC and never played it because I don't have anybody to play with. And you've never played it either. I felt like we were even because each button does something completely different. Now, while we were playing Dragon Ball, I feel like it was one-sided with you beating my ass the entire time.
Sorry.
Which is very funny to me because I'm the gamer.
You'd been playing it all week. I don't know what you were doing.
Yeah. So I actually was just trying to do a lot of the things that I had learned, like some special moves, some maneuvers, some recovers, and technical mumbo jumbo. My favorite genre is definitely not fighting games, but I do love Arc System Works fighting games. To me, they just make the best fighting games. I don't care for Street Fighter. I don't care for any of those. King of Fighters, I don't care for. But Guilty Gear, Fighters, and Blaze Blue, I love that shit. It just feels right. It just feels good to play. Anything else you want to say?
It was fun. I don't know. I don't know how to critique a video game. I had a good time. Like, I would have kept playing it instead of switching to the other two, but you wanted to switch to the other two so we could compare.
See, because I wanted to show you, because the first time that I played Fighters, I was like, this is fucking Guilty Gear with a Dragon Ball Z skin
it's exactly
on.
the same.
And it literally is. Like, there's the pre-fight announcement of what characters are fighting is literally the same as Guilty Gear. And then the intro to the fight is literally the same shit as Guilty Gear. Mm-hmm. And I don't hate it. I just wish it was a little bit more different. It had a little bit more of its own identity. And honestly, I wouldn't hate a Dragon Ball Fighters 2. I think this is great. They're coming out with more DLC. They're
Tell them to put Raditz in it.
Please put Raditz in it. We have like 20 Gokus. We need diversity. So, and let me just say one last thing before I give it a score. I do love the way that the character models look in this game because they do look like their manga and anime counterparts as opposed to what they look like in Kakarot. In Kakarot, Goku's hair just looked all sorts of fucking weird. Like you could see the 3 peaks from every angle you went into, but he had 3 peaks forward and 3 peaks sideways. In this game, it just looks like a cohesive hair. I don't know. I just like the character models in this game more. And, they actually look like what they're supposed to look like, not just weirdness. So let me just go ahead and get into my my overall for the game. This game is a very fun fighter. It has an easy to play fighting system, but it's also hard to master at the same time. So while anybody can pick it up and play, it's not something that anybody can master immediately because there's depth to it, even though it's very simple. And while the combat isn't as deep as Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, it's still a lot of fun, especially with friends. Because the story mode is just plays so goddamn awful, this game is an 8 out of 10 for me.
I mean, that's still not bad.
Like, I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even give it an 8 out of 10 because the story mode is just bad.
Then don't give it that.
So what, should I change it to a 9 out of 10? It's definitely not a 10 because that story mode is fucking atrocious.
Maybe an 8.5.
8.5?
I think that's fair.
No. I mean,
8.75.
See, I would feel comfortable giving it a 9 if the combat system was deeper, like Guilty Gear, and just gave you the option of playing it on stylish or playing it on technical. Stylish is you press one button, it does the combo. Technical is you actually have to input the combos. So if it had that option, I would feel good.
If they let you change their outfits.
That too. It would be nice to
I was just being silly, but
not to
I noticed that you could change the outfits on the other two and you couldn't on Dragon Ball.
I mean, in Dragon Ball, you can just change the color of the outfit. You can't change the outfit itself, which is weird because all of these, look at that. My wall is covered in Dragon Ball people of the same one with different outfits on.
You called them Dragon Ball people.
It's stuck from you. So yeah, so let's do 8.5. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
So, do you know what time it is?
I do.
What time is
It's
it?
time for Give Me the Garbage.
All right, that is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is Dragon Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Is it technically called Dragon Bowl Ramen or is it just Dragon Bowl?
Let me do a quick Google search.
Okay, so it is technically Dragon Bowl Ramen.
Yeah.
Not that that was super important, but this is the Dragon Ball restaurant with the better food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much better food. But to be fair, it is ramen, whereas Super Saiyan is pho.
But I also
But it's like a weird spin on pho.
Yeah.
It's still not like authentic pho.
Yeah.
Isn't it also owned by a Puerto Rican guy?
I'm not 100%
Not, no
sure.
offense. I mean, like, not that Puerto Ricans don't know how to do pho, but you tend to think that it loses some legitimacy if that is the case.
I mean, I don't think that any ethnicity that is not of that ethnicity should be doing any...
Isn't that cultural appropriation?
Just like it leaves a very bad taste in my mouth when a white person is doing Mexican food.
Yeah. Taco Bell. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like, so Dragon Bowl is ramen, Super Saiyan is pho. We'll put that in quotations.
So we wanted to try this ramen place because we got it on DoorDash and it was really good. So we always, every time we have something from DoorDash and we think is really good, we're like, oh, we should go to the restaurant and actually have it fresh, not just sitting in a container for like
Because this
half an
place is
hour.
also right around the corner.
Yeah. And I saw the Saiyans or Dragon Ball. Okay, it looks good. We went inside and I see all the Dragon Ball.
He didn't put two and two together. I did, and I thought you did. I didn't realize that you didn't.
No, I walk in and I see like a Majin Buu and I'm like, what? And I look behind me and I see like the panels of the Dragon Ball manga and I'm like, holy shit, it's a Dragon Ball place.
Yep.
And the food is good.
Yep. It's very, very good.
Yeah, that and I was pleasantly surprised. And let's start with the karage.
Because that's the only thing we got that we do not regularly get at a ramen joint, aka something we have not reviewed before.
Yeah.
We've reviewed everything else before.
Next,
we got to stop doing this.
Yeah, we got to
If we're going to keep eating ramen, we have to get different types of ramen.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So the karage is fried chicken, Japanese fried chicken. These were massive chunks of chicken. They were very crunchy and juicy, and they had a very nice mayo sauce that was very rich and creamy with a slight kick, just a
I
tiny kick.
loved that mayo sauce. It was so good. And we've had karage before that I hated because I thought it tasted like a salty lime. That's all I could taste.
We had it at Susuru.
Yes.
The one at Susuru, the karage is really good, but they give you a lemon mayonnaise. And it's not just lemon. It's yuzu. So it's super citrusy, super overbearing, and that's why you hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't think that mayo was great, but I did think that their karage was pretty good.
It tasted so salty and lemony and just, oh.
But
that was the other place, not this place.
No. This place, the karage was perfect.
It was so fucking good.
I don't really remember what type of spice was, and I didn't write it down. I know it had a slight kick. Was it a slight pepper spicy kick, or was it a radishy kick? Like, was it a funky kick or was it a spicy kick?
I think it was more of a spicy kick, but still super, super tame.
Yeah.
It
was kind of like a tongue toucher.
Yeah.
But
it was just enough to make you feel something.
Yeah. I love the fact that the karage just stayed hot.
Yes, we worked on that through a whole meal, and it was hot the whole time. And that mayo that they gave you with it was really, really good.
I am going to
I
complain.
could have bathed in a vat of it.
I'm going to
Complain about what?
About one thing about the mayo.
What?
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's true. They give you this teeny tiny little like soy sauce dish with just enough to like cover the bottom of it. Like, bitch, I need a tub. A tub. Yeah. That was the only problem.
But that karaage, oh my God, that karaage was really good.
I mean, there towards the end, we were like dropping it in this little dish and like smearing it all around, trying to catch what was left.
See, and we liked the mayo so much that we didn't even think about dipping the karaage in the broth of the ramen.
Oh, we should have asked for more mayo, honestly.
No, I mean,
I think she would have given it to us.
No, they would have done anything for us because they were
dead.
They were incredibly friendly.
That's true too. They were also dead when we went in. We went in early.
Yeah, but by the time we got out, they were backed up.
And with deliveries, really.
With
Tons of deliveries.
They were backed up with deliveries. Tell me about the gyoza.
Oh my gosh, the gyoza is the best gyoza we have had since Sapporo. Every time we've had gyoza, I feel like we always say it was really good, but it still wasn't Sapporo.
No.
It was really good, but it wasn't Sapporo. This was Sapporo level gyoza. It was, I mean, like had those perfect little spots that were fried to the point that they were a little crispy, but the whole thing wasn't crispy. It also wasn't soggy. All of the inside was super flavorful. The sauce that they gave you with it was perfect. Because we've also had some sauces that were like either like too sweet or too like soy heavy or too just not right, not quite right.
Yeah, no. I love the gyoza because they had a nice balance of pork, ginger, and scallions. Because there are some gyoza that we've had that we bite into and it just tastes like ginger.
Yeah, but then there are also some that we've bitten into that's just meat. It's like they didn't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Except wrap it up in a dumpling.
Yeah. I speaking on the fried, almost charred pieces that it had, that gave the whole dumpling a nice flavor. It just added to that porky flavor, and it just created different textures within the gyoza, because you would get that crunchy, you would get the softness from the pieces that weren't crunchy, and then you would get like the vegetable crunchies from the gingers and the scallions, and then that soft richness of the pork. It was a very, very good gyoza.
And we got those when we had it delivered too, so they weren't super hot and fresh.
They were kind of a little bit soggy, but they were really good.
They were still very tasty, even on delivery. And oh my God, I don't even know where to start with this ramen. Oh,
we have
Lord
one complaint
Jesus.
about the ramen.
There wasn't enough broth. That's the only complaint. I need more broth. Please, God. I felt like I got to the bottom of my bowl and all of my broth was already gone and I hadn't even like spooned it out really. I'm used to pho where I still have like half a bowl of broth left.
We need like a cup of broth more.
I'm sure we could order it with extra broth.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would cost.
I don't know, because the extra,
it would be worth it.
The extra pork is like $2 more.
So more broth.
For a shit ton of pork more.
Yeah. I just want to say that pork. So I am very, very picky when it comes to my ramen pork because I feel like it's almost always too fatty and I don't want to eat it. So I'll just let him eat it. Or I don't know. It's like too chewy. Oh my God. This pork is amazing.
What?
The pork is amazing.
Okay.
It tastes smoky to me. You tell me it's not smoky. It tastes smoky to me. It is so fucking good. And the way that they like char those edges. Oh.
See, I don't think it's smoky because to me.
It tastes smoky to me.
To me, it tastes like a grill char. That's what it tastes like to me. It doesn't taste smoky. It just tastes like a grill.
You know,
it's really good.
In Spaceship Earth, the burning of the Library of Alexandria. That's what that pork tastes like to me. Oh, it smells like the burning.
That sounds awful.
Oh no, it's wonderful.
That sounds.
It's
so
wonderful.
Bad.
That's why I have that fireside candle. That's what it smells like. The burning. Smoky.
You're so fucking.
I love it. I love it.
The chashu is just amazing. It is flavorful. It's full of umami. It has amazing char on the edges. So even when it's soaking in the broth, it's just soaks, the fat soaks up the broth. And somehow the edge just still stays crunchy.
Yes. And like I know there were fatty bits obviously, but they didn't like gross me out like other ones do. It wasn't as like there weren't huge chunks of fat.
Yeah.
I should
it's
say. They were
mostly
small
meat.
enough, yeah, that I could stomach it. And there's a lot of pork. I don't feel like you need to order extra. I know you always will because you're you.
And I
But
just love it.
there was a lot of pork. Some places really jip you on the pork, but the hefty portion of pork.
Yeah. I
Hefty
feel like
portion.
like one of the places that does chip you on the pork is Domo.
Hell yeah, I don't want to go back to that place. I hate it.
Eventually we're gonna have to go there. Tell me about the noodles.
The noodles, I
yeah.
mean, they were perfect.
They
They
were
were your textbook ramen noodles.
They're springy. They had a nice bite.
There were a lot. There were more than enough. They just need more broth to go with them.
Yeah.
But then I like to eat my ramen with sriracha. I asked if they had sriracha. They only had one teeny tiny little solo cup full of little teeny tiny little dipper solos. Full of sriracha. That
Which was the last-
only sriracha they had left in the restaurant. Because she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll bring you out a bottle," and then she's like, "Sorry, this is all we have." But she said they had chili oil, so she brought us chili oil, and she warned us that it had like a real kick, so to use it sparingly. So we both put just a little bit in our bowls, and I felt like it just made all the flavors come out so much more. It was awesome. It wasn't really. I mean, I like spicy. I don't feel like it was spicy.
No.
I feel like it was flavor enhancement.
So when we had Takagi, we had their chili paste,
Yes.
but their chili paste was more of a chopped pickled pimentos,
Yes.
and they were delicious. They
were.
They were awesome. This was more chili oil. It didn't really have any chunks. It was just oil. Spicy
Yeah, if you
oil.
wanted to use it, you needed to pour it in the bowl. Whereas with sriracha, I like to put it on each bite, not dump in the bowl.
And like you said, it did feel like it brought out the flavors. It just made my tonkatsu broth just much more, I don't want to say palatable, because
It was already.
it was just fucking delicious. It just made it much more craveable. Right?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works.
The egg, I wish that I would have ordered for another egg,
I'm surprised you didn't. You
because
normally do.
I submerged that egg and the yolk was a little bit runny and the soy on it was delicious and it just soaked up the tonkatsu into its yolk. And I put a little bit of that chili oil on it, and oh my god, that is there are fewer pleasures in life better than a nice egg with the ramen broth and just chili oil. Mm-hmm. It was sweet.
You gotta let it sit in there for a little while. Really submerge it.
And
Soak up all the flavors. Oh.
I just love that the soft boil that they did was so well done that it just helped the sugars in the yolk just shine. Like it was sweet and it was flavorful and it was rich and so good. So good. My tonkatsu was very garlicky because it was the black tonkatsu.
My shoyu was very soy-y. It was almost a little too salty, but like I feel like the chili oil even helped with that. It was awesome. Not enough for me to complain about by any means.
No, I saw a TikTok today of this, not today, like 2 days ago, of this realtor dude that goes to different places to eat, and he went to Dragon Ball, and he got the red tonkatsu, and I think that's spicy tonkatsu that they make, and it looks so good.
Because didn't you get the black tonkatsu?
Yeah, which is the garlic heavy tonkatsu. Overall, is there anything else you want to say before we give it a rating?
No, it's awesome.
It's so good. So Dragon Ball is definite garbage.
Yes.
And if you're new listening to the show, garbage means that it is the highest price we can give to food. It is just straight up delectable amazingness.
Yes, because apparently people who've even listened don't know what garbage means and they get offended when we see pictures of their food and say, "Oh, garbage," and they're like, "What? No, take that back." Like that was a compliment.
It's like, fine, it's trash. Jesus.
Oh gosh, yeah.
No, amazing place. Definitely one of the best ramen places in Orlando.
Definitely.
I feel like the bad ramen places are just a small handful, and they're not bad. They're just not as amazing as the other places that we have.
We just need to stop reviewing ramen places now.
Yeah, we need to take a break from them for a while.
We do. We do need to go to 24-hour.
Yeah, we got a couple of places on the list that we got to go to. Earlier in the episode, usually in the intro, we do emails, and
We fucked up.
I fucked up, so I completely forgot because we got this email very early in the week, and I got a shit ton of other emails on the novelconsole@gmail.com email, and this one just kind of like got buried, even though I started. But we do have an email. It says, "Greetings from Thrak. Hey guys, love the show. Figured I'd ask you both a question. Karen, if you could only read one book series for the rest of your life that isn't Lord of the Rings."
Oh, fuck you. Not really. Sorry, that was an automatic reaction.
What would it be and why?
Oh.
Chris, if you could play one game console for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
That's a much easier fucking question.
Also, it can't be current gen. One book series for the rest of your life.
I don't know. Oh, fuck.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so one game console, it would have to be the Nintendo 3DS because I can play DS games and 3DS games, and it has a massive and amazing library of JRPGs and RPG games and action adventure games, and all of my favorite Mega Man games are on it. The Mega Man Zero Collection, ZX Advent. It's just an amazing console. Now, I'm going to make this harder for myself, and instead of a console, it's going to be one series that I get to play for the rest of my life, and it's going to be pretty easy. You want to know what it is?
Oh, I feel like I should know this.
You should.
Oh, is it Dragon Ball? No. No, it's not Dragon Ball.
No, it's not Dragon Ball.
Is it Pokemon? Is
No.
Yakuza?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
The whole Yakuza series, because I got a great selection of games there. I got RPGs, I got regular beat 'em ups. So yeah, I'll take Yakuza for that. Although I should say something weirder like Star Fox.
No, Yakuza is your...
So what's your book series?
Oh, God. So part of me wants to say Harry Potter, but I've also read it so many times at this point that I think I've exhausted anything new that I could take away from it. And honestly, I just recently finished a reread of The Sorcerer's Stone. I'm rereading with my not my extended editions, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings and movies. Reading the illustrated editions, but they only go up to Goblet of Fire right now. So I'll have to switch to something else when I get to Goblet of Fire. But honestly, reading Sorcerer's Stone, I saw some things about JK that really pissed me off. Like, Dudley is evil and he's fat, and we can only focus on the fact that he's fat. And that started to really upset me. We're not going to go there. That's another separate conversation for another day. So I'm not going to say Harry Potter. I'm not going to say ACOTAR either, because...
That is surprising that you're not going to say ACOTAR.
There are more Throne of Glass books than there are ACOTAR. A Court of Thorns and Roses.
There we go. That's what I want to say.
I think I would have to pick Throne of Glass because there are more books and they would take me longer and more things that I could take away from it every time. Like, I know there are things that I missed,
I
you know?
See. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that you always miss on the first run through, and then you get on the second. Now, I am going to say, I feel like Yakuza is so thorough that with just one playthrough of a game, you get everything because they're thorough. Even the smallest details that you don't notice in some cutscenes, they go back to them later on in the story and they're like, oh shit, that did happen. So I think yeah. Plus all the weirdness in those games, and I just love Yakuza. It's so good, so good. I should play one of those and tell you the story of it. I think that would be fun.
I do want to make it a goal for myself to read at least like 2 or 3 Outlander books this year, because Hunter's making me think that they're just like the best books ever. I wonder if I would change my choice after reading more of them. So far, I've only read the first book and like a quarter of the second book.
Huh.
They are long as fuck.
Interesting.
Oh God, I thought about Game of Thrones too. I don't need to reread those. No, we're good.
Especially
we're good.
since they're never going to end.
Nope,
So.
they aren't going to end, and I enjoyed them, but no, they're not even like top 10. Gotta be real.
That's funny. All right, so let's go ahead and get in some housekeeping, and we'll go ahead and end the show. First off, we already touched on it. Patreon.com/anovelconsole. Go sign up. $2 a month gets you extra episodes. And this year, we're definitely going to be posting a lot more on Patreon. We're going to try to make it a weekly thing, maybe a bi-weekly thing, depending on what content we can come up with. So if you have any ideas, which we've gotten a couple of ideas, we just got to do them. Just send them over. Send them over to anovelconsole@gmail.com. If you have any questions or any comments, or you want to tell us a story or whatever, just send it over to anovelconsole@gmail.com. We will read it on the show, or we won't, or we could answer you back personally. It's a ton of fun. We love it when we get emails. It's always a good time. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A Novel Console, and on Facebook at facebook.com/A Novel Console. Don't forget that you can also tell your friends that they can find the podcast on most major podcast streaming platforms, or that they can also listen on YouTube by searching for A Novel Console. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, which we'd be ever so grateful. It would also be awesome if you could leave reviews on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts so that more people can find us. And to that, I also want to add Spotify. We do have the ratings on Spotify now. It would be great if we could get some there. And also, you can listen on Facebook. I keep forgetting. You can listen on Facebook. Our episodes are uploaded every week onto Facebook, and you can share them there easier, and probably get your friends to listen there easier. And our art was done by Metamorphica. You can find her on Instagram, and her link is in the show notes. And is there anything else you want to say before we end the show, Karen?
I don't believe so.
I thought you were going to say, I don't believe in fairies.
I don't believe in Saiyans.
Take that back. Take it back. Take it back.
Super fusion, yay! Fingers touching.
We're getting a divorce.
I love you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.